In the new Africa, one more independent country, the state of Uganda. At Entebbe Airport, Prime Minister Milton Obote and His Highness the Kabaka wait to greet the Britannia, which brings the Duke of Kent to represent the Queen at the independence celebration.
Hello, this is News Central. I'm Tolulope Adeleru Balogun. On October the 9th, the Republic of Uganda will celebrate its Independence Day. That's 58 years since its independence from the United Kingdom. In the midst of celebrations, Ugandans are also preparing for presidential elections in 2021. Now, joining me to discuss this and, of course, issues surrounding Uganda's independence, I have a special assistant to President Yoweri Museveni, Grace Kansimi. Grace, can you hear us? Oh, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's start with what seems to be a bit of shared history with many African countries, and that is having a colonial history and also having a military history. Now, Uganda, like many other African countries, got independence relatively around the same time, and we can see that there's been development at different stages with these different countries. Looking at coming out of colonial rule and then entering into some periods of military rule as well, how would you say Uganda has fared trying to leave behind its colonial history as well as the military rule period of time that the country was under?
We are doing quite well as a nation. And right from independence, it was Dr. Milton Obote who led Uganda to her independence. And after some time, one of the army commanders by then, General Idi Amin, took power from him. Now, Uganda has had quite a share of challenges and troubles since that time of Idi Amin. I'm sure so many Nigerians, whenever you talk about Uganda, the only thing they will remember about Uganda is Idi Amin. And so it was quite a difficult time that Uganda went through. And it was so bad that it has left so many scars around the nation, and it has taken so many years, over 20 years for Uganda to heal. And the healing actually started during the time of the current president, the sitting president, who has been here for about 30 years. The healing came. He came in, of course, by the power of the gun to unseat the gun that was roaring and giving Uganda a lot of trouble. So yes, I can say we are managing. It was slow at first, but it is running quite well at best, I must say.
Now, it's interesting you mentioned the current president, Yoweri Museveni, and the number of years that he has been in power. You have elections coming up in, I think, February 2021, and they have been very hot. And we've seen his elections also be contested in the past as well. But you also have, like many other African countries, a very young, youthful population that's wanting to be a bigger part of democracy, that's wanting to be a bigger part of the things that they see being replicated in other African countries in the 21st century. So these elections are coming up. Even in this mood of celebration, everybody has their eyes on the elections. In terms of preparations, in terms of transparency, ensuring that the people's will is done, what reassurances do we have from a president who has been in power for so long that he will respect the will of the people and ensure that there are credible, free and fair elections?
First and foremost, I must commend the president of Uganda, who has ruled Uganda for 30 years. 30 years of stability, 30 years of recovery, 30 years of moving forward, 30 years of empowering Ugandans to choose Uganda over any other thing in the world. And so, to us as a nation, he is a symbol of stability. There was a time when we actually had a president who ruled for 3 months. We had another president who ruled for 9 months. We had another president who ruled for, I think, 24 hours. And so the stability that Uganda lacked in the past for so many years, we have achieved it with the current president. And what has he brought? Security. In Uganda, we can sleep. In Uganda, the army has no right to touch the citizens. In Uganda, you can contest and take a police officer, a security officer to court, and he is charged for it. And so the 30 years that we look at are years of stability for a nation. Yes, it is true Uganda has, I think, the youngest population in the world. We are looking as a nation at how we can make this a demographic advantage. And the current government is putting into place systems. For instance, there is a wide spread Skilling Uganda program that is looking at skilling every Ugandan so that each Ugandan should be in position to do something on their own. Money is there, the starting capital is there for the nation, and that it has just been rolled out. We look forward to so much more after the 2021 election.
Okay.
And yes, the democracy that Uganda has allows everyone to contest. Otherwise, we should have come up, shut every chapter, closed every gate for competitors. But because he is a man of democracy, everyone can contest.
Okay, I don't want us to dwell too much on the elections coming, but I will just ask this final question on that so we can move on. You've had the conversations with Bobby Wine, who has turned a politician from being a musician, a well-known Ugandan musician. He has really amassed quite a following, very vocal about the things that he thinks is wrong with Uganda. We also interviewed him sometime last year, and he shared his thoughts. You also have leading Ugandan opposition candidate Kizza Besigye, who also alleged being manhandled and has been prevented from moving freely. So you're saying that the president is there to ensure free and fair elections, ensure that there's democracy, soldiers and men in uniform are not free to harass citizens, but you do have leading opposition members who have alleged being manhandled, who have alleged being prevented from moving freely or even exercising their rights to actively participate in democracy. So what would you say to these individuals or to those who are watching the actions of the government as it pertains to these individuals?
Well, I can only say it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate when someone who is contesting and has a big following is saying he is not free to move. It's contradicting. It's contradictory. If you're free to move, you're free to contest, you're free to talk to the president anyhow, and then you say you are harassed. I must say it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. And the president has the mandate to protect the image of Uganda from anyone who has to lie. And he will have every support of every Ugandan.
Uganda is home to one of Africa's most prestigious universities. And we mentioned earlier, such a young population that Uganda does have. How is the country preparing its youth, preparing its citizens to take part in the 21st century? We're talking the Internet of Things, the fourth industrial revolution, the knowledge economy. And we see so many African countries that simply do not have an adequate plan of how to make their young people and their citizens globally competitive in this new kind of information era. How is Uganda really specifically tackling this?
Currently, the president, the government, they are fronting our young people into information system management, software development. And much of the things in Uganda are actually going to be online. I think about 30% is right now online. Immigration is online. There is e-governance. The government, under the leadership of President Yoweri Museveni, is focusing so much on software development and establishing so many e-institutions. Even with COVID that has been taking place, much of our learning has continued online. And even when the schools open, it is not going to stop at that. So e-learning is going to continue. Our institutions, many of them are being equipped with softwares that we do not need person-to-person interaction. For instance, to curb out corruption from the procurement sector, it's it's just a software interface. You enter, you fill your stuff, they are delivered, bids are opened, procurement is concluded, and you are notified. And so institutions, data centers, internet, and everything we need for e-government. We are looking forward to going into the fourth industrial generation.
All right. Thank you very much, Grace Kansimi, Special Assistant to President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda. As the country celebrates 58 years of independence from the United Kingdom, we wish Uganda and Ugandans very happy celebrations. And as News Central, we'll keep our eye on issues coming out of Uganda. So thank you very much, Grace, for joining us.
Thank you so much. And I must say, Nigeria, our big brothers, we look up to you. We pray for you. At every step that you make, it will mean quite a lot for Uganda as well.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you. It's been good to have you, and we look forward to having you another time, and as well making sure we're able to talk to President Yoweri Museveni on issues that are near and dear to the hearts of Ugandans. This is News Central. I am Tolulokwe Adeleru Balogun.